Hey everyone, Peace Eye here. Today we're going to continue the Banshee Creepypasta. I'll pick up where I left off. If I can find it. I too was exhausted from my journey and wasted no time in bidding adieu to my family and heading out onto the dark staircase and into my chambers. I lit several candles, but somehow that only seemed to intensify my isolation. It may have been the elongated shadows or the constant flickering of the flame that made me feel as if someone were in the room with me. My quarters were small, consisting of a sloped ceiling, a feather bed, a bathroom, and a kitchen. There was even a desk that looked out of a set of glass doors and a small balcony. Josiah had warned me not to use the balcony, as it was in repair and the railing was not yet sturdy enough to use. Frankly, I had no desire to use the balcony, as my previous description of my bus ride might have led you to guess. I am afraid of heights. Though the view from the window was striking enough, looking out over the hills and valley below. I was content to view it all from behind the glass barrier. I had hardly laid myself down upon my mattress when I heard a haunting sound. My first instinct was that it was the wind, howling around the jagged houses perched along the mountain. But the noise seemed to grow louder, as if it were growing closer. It was a woman, I realized, sobbing somewhere outside. She must be hurt. I jumped from my bed and looked out the small glass pane above my bed. What I saw as I looked from that window was an image that is forever engraved in my mind. A ghostly apparition, it seemed, was climbing the stairs just outside my chambers. A woman wrapped in a ragged shawl climbed, wailing quite loudly. Surely the whole neighborhood must be awake. Slowly, she climbed until eventually her cries began to fade. For a long while I could not move. I was frozen in place. It seemed her cries had the effect of casting fear throughout my whole body, that I was stiff and unable to do anything. I do not know how long I stood there, watching, unable to move. At some point I must have, as I woke up the next morning in my bed feeling far from refreshed, the memory of last night still burning in my mind. I dressed and went downstairs to join my family. In the light of day, the stairs seemed ordinary, plain. There was no sign or signal that this place was where spirits walked and wailed during the night, a haunted place. I could not resist the urge to bring up the subject over breakfast. Though some might frown upon my engaging such a topic in the presence of children, I feel that it was not a sin, as they too must be victims of the woman's nighttime visit. "How are you this morning, brother?" Josiah asked, that young and jovial smile of his ever present across his face. "Did you sleep well?" I wish I could say that I have, but it seems there was some ungodly creature who decided to scream the night away right outside my window. At my mention of the woman, Josiah and his wife shared a frightening glance. The look might have been looked over by some, but not by myself, a student of the law. They knew something. "Ah, yes. It's a neighborhood drunk, no more. She does that from time to time. I'm sorry I didn't mention it." "Mention it? My good brother, all is forgiven. She is not your doing? Then all is well. Tonight I shall retire a little more prepared, though I can't imagine what happened to that poor wet wretch to make her so dreadfully sad. Poor girl." And that was that on the subject. A common drunk. Though I sensed she might be more than that, I dare not suggest it. Logic constrained me. And what could she be, other than a drunk? A memory swam into my mind of something Josiah told me when I was younger. "There is such a thing as a banshee," he said. "A woman who wails and cries, warning of a death to come. A banshee! The lawyer inside me scoffed at the idea. Children's stories, to keep them good in their beds.